Have you ever found yourself waking up in the middle of the night, tired but unable to stay asleep because you have to rush to the bathroom again? It's a quiet frustration many of us experience as we age, an unwelcome interruption that steals our rest and peace. You might think this is just part of getting older, but what if I told you it's not as simple as that? Sometimes, the foods we eat play a bigger role than we realize. Nighttime urination isn't just an annoying inconvenience. It can affect your overall health and quality of life. In this video, I'll share 5 nuts that can help reduce those nighttime trips, and 5 you should avoid to keep your sleep uninterrupted. By the end, you'll discover easy, natural choices to reclaim your restful nights. Let's walk this journey together, one bite at a time. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 5. Nuts you should eat to prevent nighttime urination. 1. Almonds. For so many older adults, tossing and turning at night has almost become a normal part of life. Maybe you found yourself lying awake, frustrated that you can't get through the night without another trip to the bathroom. You start to believe it's just part of getting older, one of those little annoyances you have to accept, like graying hair or creaky knees. Maybe you've even heard friends or doctors say, "Oh, that's just aging. Nothing you can do about it." It's easy to shrug it off, push through your day feeling groggy, and chalk it up to being over 65. But what if I told you that waking up to use the bathroom at night doesn't always have to be your new normal? What if there are simple, overlooked habits that could make a real difference, not only for your sleep, but for how energetic and refreshed you feel each morning? Sometimes the solutions are much closer than we think, quietly sitting right in our kitchen cabinets. Let's talk about almonds. You might see them as just a healthy snack, something to munch on between meals or toss on a salad. But almonds have a special superpower when it comes to helping older adults sleep through the night, especially those struggling with nighttime urination. So, why do almonds help? The answer lies in a remarkable mineral called magnesium. Almonds are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium, a nutrient that plays a vital role in relaxing muscles and calming the nervous system. When your body is low in magnesium, your muscles, including the bladder, can become more irritable and less able to hold urine during the night. This is one reason many people find themselves waking up multiple times, even if they haven't had much to drink before bed. Science has shown that magnesium doesn't just help your muscles. It also promotes deeper, more restful sleep by calming your nerves and helping your body switch from fight or flight mode to rest and restore. For seniors, this is especially important. As we age, our magnesium levels naturally drop, and our bodies become more sensitive to even small mineral deficiencies. So, what's the gentle, practical solution? Try adding a small handful of unsalted, raw, or dry roasted almonds to your evening routine. You don't have to eat a lot. Just a quarter cup, about 23 almonds, an hour or 2 before bedtime is enough for most people. If you find raw almonds a bit tough to chew, soak them in water overnight for a softer, more digestible snack. The idea isn't to replace your meals, but to create a little nightly ritual that helps your body relax, supports your bladder, and sets the stage for deeper sleep. Let me share a quick story. My neighbor Carol, who just turned 70 last spring, struggled with broken sleep for years. She used to dread bedtime, knowing she'd be up 3 or 4 times every night. At first, she thought it was just a part of getting older. Then, during a community health talk, she learned about the benefits of magnesium and almonds. With nothing to lose, she tried making almonds her go-to evening snack. Within just a couple of weeks, she was sleeping longer stretches and only getting up once, or sometimes not at all. Carol says her mornings feel brighter, and she's got more energy for her grandkids. Now, I know every person's body is different. You might not see a miracle overnight. But small, gentle changes like this are worth a try. You deserve to wake up feeling truly rested, not worn out from restless nights. So tonight, as you wind down, consider reaching for a handful of almonds instead of your usual late-night snack. It's a tiny step, but sometimes the smallest habits can make the biggest difference. Remember, age doesn't have to steal your sleep or your joy. You have more power than you think, and every good night's sleep is another chance to live fully tomorrow. 2. Walnuts. For many of us, as the years go by, our relationship with sleep changes in ways we never expected. Maybe you used to sleep like a rock, but now you find yourself staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning, listening to the quiet hum of your house, wishing you could drift off as easily as you once did. Or maybe it's the constant urge to get up and use the bathroom that keeps pulling you out of your dreams just when you need rest the most. It's all too easy to think, well, this is just what happens when you get older. Nothing can help. But what if that belief isn't entirely true? What if nature has a few gentle tricks up its sleeve, and one of them is sitting in your pantry right now? When we challenge the idea that sleep loss and frequent nighttime urination are just part of aging, we open ourselves up to simple, powerful changes that might transform our nights and our days. Let's turn our attention to walnuts. These humble little nuts have been part of American kitchens for generations, sprinkled on oatmeal or tucked into homemade banana bread. Most people think of walnuts as heart-healthy, packed with good fats, but few realize they are also a secret weapon for better sleep, especially for older adults wrestling with restless nights and bathroom interruptions. The secret lies in a remarkable compound called melatonin. You may have heard of melatonin as the sleep hormone. It's what helps your body know when it's time to wind down for the night. As we age, our natural production of melatonin drops, which can make falling asleep and staying asleep harder than ever. Here's the interesting part. Walnuts are one of the very few foods that contain natural melatonin. When you eat them, your body gets an extra, gentle boost to its sleep system, helping to set your internal clock and signal, it's time to rest. But that's not all. Walnuts are also rich in omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, both of which support healthy brain function and help calm inflammation in the body. This can be especially important for seniors, since inflammation and cognitive changes are closely tied to sleep quality and bladder health. When your mind is at ease and your body systems are soothed, those nighttime trips to the bathroom can become less frequent and less disruptive. So, how can you put this gentle remedy into practice? It's simple. Just enjoy a small handful of unsalted, raw walnuts in the early evening. About an ounce, roughly 7 whole walnuts, is all you need. They're easy to add to your routine. Sprinkle them on your evening yogurt, mix them into a bowl of fruit, or just eat them plain as a satisfying snack. There's no need to overhaul your whole diet, just a mindful addition that supports your body's natural rhythms. Let me tell you about Bill, a retired school principal from Ohio. Bill always prided himself on his sharp mind and steady routines, but sleep had become his enemy. He'd fall asleep at 10, only to wake up every couple of hours, groggy and irritable. After hearing about walnuts and melatonin at a senior center seminar, Bill decided to try adding walnuts to his evening snack. At first, he was skeptical. How could a nut help with sleep? But after a month, Bill noticed a change. He was falling asleep faster, waking up less, and his energy in the morning felt stronger than it had in years. He jokes now that his secret weapon is a handful of walnuts before his nightly crossword. You don't have to accept restless nights as your destiny. Small, thoughtful choices can help restore peace to your evenings and energy to your days. Tonight, as you prepare for bed, reach for a few walnuts and know you're giving your body and mind gentle support from nature itself. Sleep well, and remember, you're never too old for a good night's rest or a fresh start in the morning. 3. Cashews. If you've ever found yourself dreading bedtime because you know you'll be up half the night shuffling back and forth to the bathroom, you're certainly not alone. For many older adults, interrupted sleep and those urgent nighttime trips have become so routine that they barely raise an eyebrow anymore. Maybe you've brushed it off with a sigh. Just another inconvenience of aging, something you have to live with, like thinning hair or slower mornings. But over time, this lack of restful sleep can wear you down, chipping away at your energy and spirit. But let me ask you something. What if it's not simply age at work? What if there are small changes you can make, practical, everyday choices, that could help your body rest more deeply and hold off those unwanted nighttime interruptions? The truth is, sometimes the answer is hiding in plain sight, right in your pantry or snack drawer. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let's talk about cashews. Most folks know cashews as a creamy, tasty treat, a little indulgence at a family gathering or a crunchy addition to a favorite salad. But beyond their delicious flavor, cashews are packed with nutrients that offer special benefits for people navigating the challenges of aging, including nighttime urination and poor sleep. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Cashews are rich in magnesium and zinc, two minerals that are often lacking in the diets of older adults. Magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation and nerve health, while zinc supports a healthy immune system and helps regulate your body's response to stress. When you're low in magnesium or zinc, your bladder muscles may become more sensitive and overactive, leading to more frequent bathroom visits, especially at night when your body should be resting. And because stress and anxiety can make bladder symptoms worse, getting enough zinc is equally important for keeping everything in balance. Science backs this up. Studies show that magnesium and zinc can help calm the muscles of the bladder, making it easier to sleep through the night without interruption. These nutrients also support a steadier mood and a stronger immune system, which is especially valuable as we age. So, what's a simple way to put this knowledge into action? Try making cashews a regular part of your evening routine. Just a small handful, about a quarter cup, of unsalted cashews as an after-dinner snack can work wonders. If you prefer, toss them into your evening oatmeal or blend them into a smoothie. The key is to keep the portion moderate, since cashews are calorie-dense. Choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties to avoid extra sodium that can undo some of the benefits. Let me share a real-life example. My friend Linda, who's 68 and loves gardening, always struggled with waking up 2 or 3 times a night to use the bathroom. She'd feel tired and irritable in the morning, missing out on her favorite early walks among her roses. After reading about magnesium and zinc, she decided to swap her usual dessert for a few cashews each night. Within a few weeks, Linda noticed she was sleeping more soundly and waking up less. She still had the occasional restless night, don't we all? But her energy and mood noticeably improved, and her garden was happier for it, too. If you're considering making a change, remember, start small and listen to your body. No single food is a magic cure, but simple habits can add up to real results. You deserve restful nights and bright mornings. Don't let age or old assumptions steal that from you. Cashews may be just a small snack, but sometimes it's the little changes that help us feel strong, steady, and hopeful for all the days ahead. Permit yourself to try something new. Every good night's sleep is a gift worth savoring. 4. Flax seeds. If you're like many folks over 65, you've probably had nights where sleep feels as slippery as soap. No matter how tired you are, you just can't seem to get comfortable, and when you finally drift off, that all-too-familiar urge wakes you for yet another bathroom trip. After a while, it starts to feel routine, doesn't it? Maybe you've come to accept broken sleep and nighttime urgency as part of getting older, just like your friends and neighbors. It's a quiet frustration, something you seldom talk about but feel every morning when you wake up groggy and not quite yourself. But have you ever wondered if it has to be this way? What if these restless nights aren't just a normal part of aging, but a signal from your body that something simple is missing? There's a surprising connection between what we eat and how our bodies function overnight, and sometimes the smallest foods can have the biggest impact. Let's take a closer look at flax seeds. They might seem unassuming, a little brown or golden seed that you'd hardly notice in the store, maybe something you see in the healthy aisle but rarely think about buying. But these tiny seeds pack a punch when it comes to supporting better sleep and easing nighttime bathroom trips, especially for seniors. So what makes flax seeds so special? The secret is in their unique blend of fiber and omega-3 fatty acids. Flax seeds are one of the best plant sources of omega-3s, which help reduce inflammation in the body. Inflammation, especially around the bladder and urinary tract, can make nighttime urgency much worse. Meanwhile, the high soluble fiber content in flax seeds helps keep your digestive system working smoothly, which means less pressure on your bladder at night. When your gut is happy, your bladder often follows suit. Research shows that fiber also helps stabilize blood sugar and supports healthy kidney function. For older adults, this can mean fewer spikes in urine production during the night, and a much better chance of sleeping straight through until morning. Plus, flax seeds contain lignans, plant compounds that offer mild hormone balancing effects, which is helpful for both men and women as our bodies change with age. So, how can you bring flax seeds into your daily routine without making things complicated? It's easy. The best way to get the benefits is by using ground flax seeds. Whole seeds often pass through the body undigested. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons a day can be enough. Sprinkle them on your morning oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or stir them into a cup of yogurt in the evening. The flavor is mild and nutty, and they blend right in with most foods. Here's a quick story that might sound familiar. My neighbor Edna, a lively 74-year-old with a passion for baking, used to wake up 3 or 4 times a night, always feeling unrest. Her doctor suggested trying ground flax seeds, so Edna started adding them to her evening yogurt. She didn't expect much, but within a month, she was only waking up once a night, and some nights, not at all. She laughs and says, "I feel younger just because I can sleep." If you're struggling with sleep or nighttime urgency, remember, small steps can bring real relief. You don't need to overhaul your diet or buy expensive supplements. Sometimes, the answer is as simple as a spoonful of seeds. Give flax seeds a try. Your body, and especially your bladder, might just thank you. No matter your age, you deserve peaceful, uninterrupted nights and brighter mornings ahead. Every positive change begins with a single, hopeful choice. 5. Pumpkin seeds. If you're over 65, you know that sleep isn't what it used to be. Maybe you look forward to a restful night, only to find yourself woken up again and again by the urge to go to the bathroom. It can feel like a never-ending cycle. Fall asleep, wake up, shuffle to the bathroom, then try to drift off again, sometimes without much luck. For many, this is simply chalked up as an old age thing. Maybe your doctor or friends have even told you that's just how it goes after a certain age, and you've done your best to accept it, hoping it won't get worse. But here's a thought. What if it isn't just the years adding up, but something you could influence? Something as simple as what you snack on? Is it possible that a little change in your routine might help you take back your nights? Science says yes, and the answer could be hiding in a food you've probably eaten every fall: pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, sometimes called pepitas, are small, green seeds that pack an impressive nutritional punch, especially for bladder and urinary health. They're rich in magnesium and zinc, 2 minerals that play a crucial role in relaxing the muscles of the bladder and supporting its normal function. Magnesium acts almost like a natural muscle relaxant. When your body gets enough of it, those involuntary spasms and nighttime urgencies can calm down, letting you sleep more peacefully. Zinc, on the other hand, supports healthy tissue repair and has been linked in studies to improved bladder control, particularly in older adults. But the benefits of pumpkin seeds don't stop there. They also contain plant compounds called phytosterols, which help reduce inflammation and may even support the health of your prostate if you're a man. Chronic low-level inflammation in the bladder or urinary tract can make nighttime bathroom trips more frequent and more urgent. By helping to soothe that inflammation, pumpkin seeds give your body a better chance to rest through the night. So, what's the best way to add pumpkin seeds to your life? The good news is, it's easy. Just a small handful, about 2 tablespoons, of unsalted, roasted pumpkin seeds in the afternoon or early evening can make a big difference. You can sprinkle them on salads, stir them into oatmeal, or enjoy them by themselves as a crunchy, satisfying snack. Make sure to choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties to avoid extra sodium, which can make nighttime urination worse. Let me tell you about George, a retired firefighter and grandfather of 5. George used to joke that he spent more time in the bathroom at night than in his bed. He was skeptical when his daughter suggested pumpkin seeds, but willing to try anything for a good night's sleep. He started snacking on a small bowl of pumpkin seeds while watching his favorite baseball games in the evening. Within a few weeks, he noticed that he wasn't waking up nearly as often, and when he did, he fell back asleep much more easily. For the first time in years, George said he looked forward to bedtime. Remember, your age does not define your comfort or your right to a peaceful night's rest. Sometimes, the best solutions are the simplest ones. A handful of seeds, a small new habit, a bit of hope. So next time you're looking for a healthy snack, reach for pumpkin seeds. They might be just the gentle, natural support your body needs to sleep through the night. Every positive change starts with one small step, and you deserve restful nights and energized mornings, at any age. 5. Nuts you should avoid because they may increase nighttime urination. 1. Pistachios. There's something comforting about enjoying a little snack in the evening. Maybe while you're watching your favorite show or catching up with an old friend on the phone. For many people, pistachios are the perfect choice. Easy to crack open, deliciously crunchy, and somehow, it feels like you can eat a whole bowl without even noticing. For years, you might have heard that nuts are always healthy and that snacking on them is a good habit as you age. So when you reach for pistachios, it feels like you're doing something right, something that will support your health. But here's a question that might surprise you. Could these innocent-looking nuts be making your nighttime bathroom trips worse? Most people never even consider this possibility. After all, aren't nuts supposed to be good for your heart and brain? It almost seems unthinkable that something so delicious and so often praised could be working against you, especially when you're just trying to get a good night's sleep. Let's dig a little deeper into the story. While pistachios do contain healthy fats and plenty of nutrients, they also have one major drawback for anyone struggling with frequent nighttime urination. They're often loaded with sodium. Most of the pistachios you find in stores are salted, sometimes heavily so. Sodium, or salt, has a powerful effect on your body's ability to balance fluids. When you eat salty foods, your body tries to get rid of the extra salt by pulling water out of your cells and sending it to your bladder. The result? More urine production, especially in the hours after your snack. But there's more. Eating salty pistachios in the evening can lead to increased thirst, making you drink more water than usual. Another reason you may find yourself shuffling to the bathroom just as you're drifting off to sleep. For seniors, this becomes a cycle that's hard to break. The salt makes you thirsty, you drink more, your bladder fills faster, and your sleep is interrupted again and again. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. I remember my Uncle Dave, who turned 70 last year, telling me how he used to keep a big jar of pistachios by his recliner. "It's my evening treat," he'd say, cracking them open one by one as the sun went down. But he also started noticing that his nighttime bathroom visits were getting more frequent, and he felt more restless every morning. At first, he blamed his age, thinking it was just what happens. But after his doctor suggested looking at his evening snacks, Dave realized the salty pistachios might be part of the problem. He decided to switch to unsalted almonds for a few weeks and was surprised to find his nights were quieter, and he was waking up feeling more refreshed. So, what can you do if you love pistachios? The answer isn't that you have to give them up forever, but it's wise to save them for daytime snacks and always choose unsalted varieties if possible. If you do want a snack in the evening, try reaching for nuts lower in sodium, like raw almonds or walnuts, or satisfy your crunch craving with fresh veggies. Remember, getting a good night's sleep is more than just what time you go to bed. It's about all the little choices you make, right down to your snacks. Sometimes, the foods we trust the most are the ones quietly sabotaging our comfort. But with a little awareness, you can take back control, one handful at a time. Your rest is worth protecting, and with small, mindful changes, you can reclaim your nights and greet each morning with new energy and hope. 2. Salted peanuts. It's hard to beat the familiar crunch of salted peanuts. Maybe you've kept a bowl on the coffee table for decades, something to nibble on while reading the newspaper, watching a ball game, or hosting the grandkids. Salted peanuts seem harmless, even healthy in small amounts, and they bring back memories of road trips, backyard cookouts, or evenings spent sharing stories with friends. For many, they're the ultimate comfort snack, simple, satisfying, and full of nostalgia. But what if that comforting handful is quietly working against your best chance at a restful night? So many of us believe that a little salt here and there can't hurt, especially after a lifetime of building up a tolerance. But here's the question. Is your nighttime routine being sabotaged by these tiny, salty treats? The truth is, while peanuts themselves are full of protein and good fats, salted peanuts come with a hidden catch: the extra sodium that coats every bite. Sodium may not seem like a villain, but for older adults, especially those struggling with nighttime bathroom trips, it can be a real troublemaker. When you eat salty foods, your body responds by trying to flush out the extra salt, which leads to increased urine production. That means more late-night trips to the bathroom, and less of the deep, uninterrupted sleep your body needs to repair and restore itself. What's more, eating salted peanuts, especially in the evening, often makes you thirsty. Maybe you reach for a glass of water or even a cup of tea, not realizing you're adding even more fuel to the cycle of nighttime urgency. And because our bodies naturally lose some ability to process sodium efficiently as we age, even a little extra salt can have a much bigger impact than it used to. Let me tell you about Henry, a retired postal worker who used to end every night with a handful of salted peanuts while watching TV. He'd always considered himself healthy and active, never really thinking twice about his snacks. But after his sleep started getting choppy, waking 2 or 3 times a night just to use the bathroom, he began to wonder if something in his routine needed to change. After a gentle nudge from his wife, he swapped his salted peanuts for a small serving of unsalted cashews. Within a couple of weeks, Henry noticed he was making it through the night more often, waking up less groggy and more ready to tackle his morning walk. So, what can you do if salted peanuts are a favorite snack? The good news is, you don't have to give up peanuts altogether. The secret is to look for unsalted or lightly salted varieties. You might also try mixing them with other unsalted nuts or seeds to cut back on your overall sodium intake. And if you crave something crunchy in the evening, try fresh carrot sticks or celery. They'll satisfy your urge to snack without adding to your nighttime troubles. Above all, don't underestimate the power of small changes. Sometimes, what seems like an innocent habit, a few salted peanuts before bed, can quietly chip away at your comfort and quality of life. By simply being mindful and making gentle adjustments, you can take meaningful steps toward deeper sleep and brighter mornings. Remember, restful nights aren't just for the young. Every stage of life deserves peace, renewal, and the energy to enjoy each new day. So tonight, maybe skip the salted peanuts and see what a difference it makes. You might be surprised at how sweet your dreams can be. 3. Salted pistachios. There's something almost addictive about salted pistachios. Maybe it's the satisfying snap as you crack open the shell, the salty tang on your tongue, or the way it feels to reach into the bag for just one more. Pistachios have always been a favorite snack for gatherings and quiet evenings alike. Colorful, crunchy, and almost impossible to stop eating. Many folks see them as a healthy choice, especially compared to chips or cookies. So it's easy to think, how could something so tasty and packed with good fats be anything but helpful, even as I get older? But have you ever wondered if your evening pistachio ritual might be getting in the way of a good night's sleep? For most people, that question never even comes up. After all, nuts are supposed to be good for the heart and brain, right? Yet when we look a little closer, we find that salted pistachios, despite all their good qualities, can quietly sabotage your efforts to sleep soundly and avoid those annoying nighttime bathroom visits. Here's why. While pistachios on their own are rich in healthy fats, protein, and important minerals, the salt that's so often added is where things can go wrong, especially for older adults. Salt, or sodium, is sneaky. It works behind the scenes to throw off your body's natural balance of fluids. When you eat foods high in sodium, like salted pistachios, your body tries to compensate by pulling extra water into your bloodstream so it can get rid of the salt through your urine. That means your kidneys and bladder work overtime, especially during the hours when you should be sleeping peacefully. The result? More trips to the bathroom, more interruptions, and less restorative rest. It doesn't end there. Salted pistachios can also make you thirsty, prompting you to drink more water or other beverages in the evening. This only adds to the cycle. More salt, more water, more bathroom trips, and more restless nights. For seniors, who may already have sensitive bladders or kidneys that aren't as efficient as they once were, this can make all the difference between a quiet night and one spent shuffling down the hall again and again. Let me tell you about Marie, a 76-year-old retired librarian who adored her nightly bowl of salted pistachios. "It's my treat," she'd say, often sharing them with friends during her weekly card games. But Marie noticed that her nights were getting choppier, waking up not once, but 2 or 3 times to use the bathroom. She thought it was just part of growing older, until her doctor mentioned the link between sodium and nighttime urination. With a bit of reluctance, Marie swapped her salted pistachios for unsalted pumpkin seeds. To her delight, within a couple of weeks, she was sleeping through the night more often, and her energy during the day returned. If you love pistachios, you don't have to say goodbye forever. Just be a little choosy about when and how you enjoy them. Opt for unsalted or lightly salted versions, and try having them earlier in the day instead of in the evening. Save salty snacks for special occasions, not for every night. Sometimes, it's these small, surprising discoveries that give us the most relief. Paying attention to your snacks, especially before bed, can make a world of difference in how you feel each morning. So be gentle with yourself, make small changes, and remember, restful, uninterrupted nights are possible, at any age. Your comfort matters, and every thoughtful choice brings you closer to the restful sleep you deserve. 4. Brazil nuts. You may have noticed Brazil nuts showing up in more and more mixed nut blends these days. Their large size and creamy flavor make them stand out. Maybe you even save them for last as a little treat at the end of your snack. For many, Brazil nuts feel like a touch of luxury, packed with healthy fats and often recommended for heart health. It's easy to think, if it's in my nut mix and it's supposed to be good for me, what harm could it do? But have you ever wondered if there's such a thing as too much of a good thing? Sometimes, we overlook the effect certain foods can have on our bodies, especially as we age. When it comes to nighttime urination, Brazil nuts can be one of those sneaky culprits. What makes Brazil nuts unique, and in this case, problematic, is their extremely high selenium content. Selenium is an essential mineral that the body needs in small amounts. It supports the immune system, thyroid health, and can even act as a powerful antioxidant. However, just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day gives you all the selenium you need, and then some. Eating more than that regularly can lead to selenium overload, which may irritate the bladder and increase the urge to urinate, especially at night. It's a classic case of too much of a good thing. As we get older, our bodies sometimes have a harder time processing minerals and balancing what we need with what we get from food. What's harmless for someone younger can become a hidden issue for those of us over 65, turning a healthy habit into a source of discomfort. I remember hearing about Frank, a retired high school teacher in Michigan, who loved snacking on Brazil nuts with his evening tea. Frank didn't realize how potent these nuts were. He'd eat a small handful every night, proud that he'd chosen a healthy snack over cookies or chips. But as the months went by, Frank found himself waking up more and more, feeling the urge to run to the bathroom several times each night. It wasn't until his doctor mentioned the connection between selenium and bladder irritation that Frank put two and two together. Once he cut back to just one Brazil nut a day and switched up his snacks, his nights became much more peaceful. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you enjoy Brazil nuts, there's no reason to avoid them completely. Just use a little moderation. Nutritionists generally recommend eating no more than 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day to get the selenium benefits without the risk of overload. You might even try mixing them with other, gentler nuts like almonds or walnuts to keep your portions in check and enjoy a variety of flavors and textures. So what's the gentle takeaway here? Pay attention to the little things in your diet, even the ones that seem harmless or healthy. Sometimes, the smallest adjustments can lead to the biggest improvements in comfort and rest. Remember, your body changes with age, and what worked in your 40s or 50s might need a little tweaking now. Be kind to yourself, and don't be afraid to experiment until you find what gives you the best, most peaceful sleep. A restful night isn't out of reach. It often begins with something as simple as a closer look at what's in your snack bowl. So, next time you're reaching for that nut mix, pause and savor just one Brazil nut. Your bladder and your dreams will thank you for it. 5. Macadamia nuts, in some cases. There's something undeniably luxurious about macadamia nuts. Their buttery texture and subtle flavor make them a favorite in cookies, festive nut mixes, or as a simple treat right from the jar. Maybe you like to nibble a few in the evening while chatting with family or winding down with your favorite show. It feels like a little act of self-care, choosing a wholesome snack over something sugary or processed. But here's a question that might surprise you. Could macadamia nuts be causing those pesky nighttime bathroom visits or restless nights? It's easy to assume that all nuts are equally healthy, and for the most part, macadamia nuts offer plenty of benefits. But for some older adults, especially those sensitive to fats or prone to digestive issues, these rich nuts can sometimes do more harm than good when eaten too close to bedtime. Let's take a closer look. Macadamia nuts are prized for their high content of monounsaturated fats, the very same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil and avocados. For most people, these fats are great for cholesterol and inflammation. But for others, especially as we age and digestion can slow down, eating a lot of high-fat foods late in the day may lead to discomfort. If your stomach is still working hard to process those fats as you're trying to sleep, you might experience bloating, mild indigestion, or even reflux. This kind of nighttime digestive unrest can trick your body into waking up, and for some, it may even make the urge to urinate feel more urgent or frequent. In addition, while macadamia nuts themselves aren't particularly high in sodium, many packaged varieties are salted or roasted with added oils. If you're reaching for the salted versions in the evening, you could be doubling up on trouble, combining the challenges of digesting fats with the bladder-irritating effects of extra salt. Let me share the story of Martha, a 71-year-old retiree in Arizona who always loved her handful of macadamia nuts before bed. She'd read about their heart benefits and found them so much more satisfying than her old habit of late-night cookies. But after a few months, Martha noticed she was waking up more often, sometimes feeling bloated, other times just needing to use the bathroom more than usual. Her doctor suggested she keep a food diary for a couple of weeks, and sure enough, the nights she ate macadamia nuts were the nights her sleep was most disrupted. So, what can you do if you love macadamia nuts but want to protect your sleep? The solution is all about timing and moderation. Enjoy your macadamia nuts as part of your daytime snacks, perhaps sprinkled on your lunch salad or paired with fruit in the afternoon. If you do want them in the evening, keep the portion small and try to avoid the salted varieties. Pay attention to how your body responds. If you find you're more restless or waking up more often, consider switching to a lighter nut or seed in the hours before bed. It's easy to think a little snack won't make much difference, but for many older adults, those small choices can add up, either supporting restful sleep or quietly getting in the way. You deserve peaceful nights and energized mornings, And with just a bit of mindfulness, you can fine-tune your habits to work with your body, not against it. Remember, getting older is about learning what makes you feel your best. Sometimes, that means savoring a treat at the right time of day, or swapping in a gentler option when your body asks for it. Your comfort and sleep are worth listening to, and every restful night is a gift you give yourself. As we've seen, the small choices we make, like which nuts we snack on, can have a big impact on our nights and our overall well-being. It's easy to overlook these little habits, especially when we're used to thinking that interrupted sleep or frequent bathroom trips are just part of getting older. But they don't have to be. By choosing nuts like almonds, walnuts, cashews, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds, you're giving your body the natural support it needs to relax, reduce inflammation, and maintain bladder health. On the other hand, being mindful to avoid or limit salted pistachios, salted peanuts, Brazil nuts in excess, and even macadamia nuts in some cases can help you avoid unnecessary disruptions and discomfort. Remember, this isn't about perfection or strict rules. It's about gentle adjustments. Small, manageable steps that fit into your lifestyle and bring you closer to peaceful, restful nights. Your sleep is precious, and better sleep means better days. More energy, sharper focus, and a stronger body to enjoy the things you love. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this: age doesn't mean giving up on comfort or quality of life. With awareness and simple changes, you can regain control over your nights and wake up feeling refreshed and ready. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found these tips helpful, please like this video and share it with your friends and family who might also benefit. And don't forget to leave a comment below. What nut are you excited to try, or which one will you cut back on? Your story could inspire someone else on this journey. Here's to better sleep and brighter mornings ahead, one mindful bite at a time.